Okay guys, we're going to cover some price targets for Bitcoin, Link, Tezos, Cardano, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Vechain and Comp. Before we get into the TA and the price targets, I'm going to let you know if you do want to access these charts, they play out live on all devices. You do not need a TradingView account. You just click the link, they load up. They are shareable, which means when I make changes and hit save, when you load up the charts, you will see the changes. And because they're shareable, you can save them as your own. You will need a free TradingView account. But once you set that up, if you click the copy icon at the top right, you can save these as your own, and then you can add in your own indicators, break apart my work, change the time frame, so on. This is the website, by the way. So altcoins, bitcoins, precious metals, and Discord is $19 a month. Stocks and tutorials are separate, but I do have different subscription options, including a lifetime option to access everything if you go under subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. This is the first place I go. If something is about to happen and I need to let you guys know quick, this is where I go, because creating a video on YouTube can take 2-3 hours to process and upload. But just like right here, I was saying we were coming down to support. This would be the point to long from, and you can see as soon as we hit support, we've been coming up ever since. So this was a perfect long opportunity. Let's go over this. So your major price targets, okay? So if we push up, look to get rejected right here. We know this is the case because we got resistance here, support, resistance, support, resistance. See, this is the point we couldn't make it above this. We came down to support. So resistance is roughly 11,900. Out here would be, this would be 11,977, but we'll leave this above. Your next, that's your resistance. Your support level below, same as back here. So if we continue down, your first support level to possibly catch a bounce would be 11,444. Your next support, we've been respecting this ring as well, support and resistance. So your next support below to catch a possible bounce will be on this ring also. If we drop below that, your next support where I will be buying in is going to be potentially down here around 10,700. This is very strong support, just like we caught a bounce here. When we hit this line down here, that's why I'll be buying in to potentially ride this up to either 11,100. If we push above that, I'll sell when we get to 11,571. If we do push above this point right here, 11,952, your target above, your next major macro target is $12,368. If we get above this point, find support, I get bullish. As long as you're below this point, I'm bearish. I'd like to point out that we are in some kind of pattern right now. The thing about patterns is you don't really know what you're in until they come to completion. So we could be in something like this. Again, there's a lot of wicks, so it's kind of hard to nail down. But if you want to look at it like this, we come from this wick here. We could be in a parallel channel that we're riding up. This is on the 1 hour, by the way. So if we do come down, and we make contact, this is an upward angle, but potentially 11,700. I'd like to point out that it looks like we could be in some kind of a rising wedge. Notice we found support, resistance, support. So this is a bearish pattern, but just a bearish pattern within this channel. So it's possible we could do something like this. If we don't break now, we could come up, find resistance, find support, break that support, come down, potentially test 11,700, or we could just break past it and come down and test that. But I just want to let you know, this looks like we're in a rising wedge, but again, it looks like we would be in a channel as well. Notice this is 11,700. This is the Coinbase weekly chart. This is for more macro targets. So in every chart I have the name of the chart, so you know which one it is. But if you go to this chart, this is for smaller targets. So I would like to point out this was our resistance right here. Our next resistance above is going to be this blue line right here. So your current resistance above is 11,774. Your next resistance above that is 11,819. If you push above that, your next resistance will be up here around 11,915. The thing also I'd like to point out, so if you look here, this parallel channel that is possible we're in, again, this is the rising wedge, this is the next, this could be your next support, this is 11,700. If you take note, if you go back here, notice when we hit this line right here, this fib channel line, we found perfect support on it, pushed up, came back below it, pushed back up above it. As soon as we broke it, we dropped. This is the next fib channel line over. Notice that when we hit this one, it became perfect support. We got a bounce, we got support, fell through it, pushed back up to it, it became resistance. So while you will be respecting these fib channel lines at this angle, you're also respecting the fib channel lines at this angle. So it is very possible if we drop, while this will be a support level here, you'll notice that we could potentially hit this point, but notice that right here is 11,700. So this could be that bottom of the parallel channel. Notice right here, 11,700. So if we drop, this would be the point where you could find support, and that would play along right with this channel right here. But these are your targets to the upside and downside. These are smaller targets. And again, what I tell you guys, if you have access to the charts, go back and look how many times price is respecting a particular channel. Back here, you can see that we got a lot of, this was resistance, it became support, so that's why you know this will be strong support as well. And the same for every one of these fib channel lines below. But again, this chart is more for smaller targets, and use the Coinbase Weekly for larger targets. As we go through the alts, I'll come back and we'll see how this plays out with this channel right here. Alright, so that covers that chart. This is my Bitcoin capitulation chart. I did make a tweet about this. So guys, it seems like something major is going to happen around September 11th. Now again, I am using previous rings to determine possible price direction. You notice that when we hit this ring, it pushed price down before the ring. This next ring, we found resistance at it. We had a pump, and then we kind of came down the outside of the ring. So it is possible, you notice we're finding resistance underneath this purple ring right here. We keep getting rejected, 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 rejected. So it's possible we could keep pushing sideways, hit this ring, and start moving down the inside of it. It's also possible that we could cross it and then start riding down the outside of it. But again, guys, if you're bullish and you think that if you're looking for that point to potentially get a pump, this could likely be the point where we break above this purple ring. As soon as we cross this ring, this is where we could actually start pushing up. So do pay attention to this chart. This is the Bitcoin capitulation chart 12/10/19. I would like to show you something pretty cool though. If I go to the 2 hour, just to show you, and again guys, I teach this in my tutorials, but I want to show you how accurate these charts are. And one of the methods that I use to create these fib circles is once I create the basic structure for these charts, I use intersecting points to create fib circles. So just to show you, if I go from this intersecting point here, you've actually got three rings intersecting this one point, and then you got 2 points. You got this ring intersecting this this purple ring. So if I go from this point to this point, I want you to take note of how well price is respecting this fib circle. Notice right here, let me get rid of this MACD and RSI. Notice right here, as soon as we hit this ring, we got resistance, found support, we pushed up. Notice we got resistance here, came below, resistance. Notice we were respecting this fib circle, resistance, support, resistance, support. As soon as we pushed up, we're now respecting this ring as perfect support. So going by this chart, and I'll go ahead and say this, so if you guys load this chart up, I'll probably need to keep it on a smaller time frame, but if you look at this chart, your resistance above is right here around 12,414. Notice that is close to where this this trend line going back since 2011. Watch my previous videos if you want to understand why this is such strong resistance. But you'll notice, so this would be your upside target around 12,360, but every time we hit this ring we find support. So this is the amazing thing about fib circles. Not only do they give you pivot points, you can also find out perfect support and resistance levels. So if we come down, your first support level is potentially 11,506. If we go here, 11,506, let's see, this is, forgive me, so many charts here. So 11,506. Let's see if we can find anything here. Okay, so potentially that would be your support, and that's why it's always good to refer to different charts. Obviously this is a downward angle, so it could be this line if we make contact way out here. But again, always just look left. If you see how long a price has been respecting a certain channel, that gives you an idea how much strong support and resistance that line can be. But it is nice to kind of go back and look and see how some of these charts match. So this would be a potential strong support level, and we just know this just based on this chart, this fib circle we just added. So we could keep bouncing back up and forth. This would be an odd shape here, because you can see this is kind of a rounded support. But we could come down, find support, then push back up, do something like this. But when you do break this ring, you know, if you're bearish and you expect a major drop, notice how far we pushed up from this ring. From this 2.618, we pushed up 22% to hit this point. So while this is your support, you know, if we push up this ring, I'm expecting to potentially push price down. So if we stay below this this purple ring here and we break this support at 11,506, your next support level is this ring down below at 9,433. If we come out here, you know, this is 9,880. So this is the interesting thing about these fib circles. It's just coming from this point right here to this point right here gave us perfect support for multiple all of these rings. You see prices respecting perfectly. So it's just kind of interesting. Again, if you watch my tutorials, you'll kind of understand my method, how I create these charts from scratch. But do pay attention. So it looks like you're a major support level to catch a bounce is 11,500. If we break this, it is possible we can start moving down. Do not forget, we have a gap down here at around 9,655 or somewhere around there. So if we do break this support and start pushing down, even if this ring pushes us down, this could be the point where we actually fill that gap below. So I just want to show you that, guys. Let me put this on the 1 day and see how that looks with this ring. Alright, well, that's not too bad. So with that, you can actually see this is your support. I'm going to get rid of these, but I will update this. So you have this ring on this chart now. I'll kind of zoom out a bit. So again, you know, like I said, we just created a fib circle, and now you have support levels to pay attention to. So I'll update this chart. Again, so this ring, we make contact around 9/11. This is a Dow Jones chart. If you watched that previous video, I'll put a link up to this video now. This is what I'm talking about. I expect the Dow Jones, New York Stock Exchange, potentially have a crash around 9/11. But take note, this ring right here, we've been finding support on. This is also the same fib circle right here. So it's very possible that something major is going to happen when we hit this point. But the reason I bring this up is this is another Dow Jones chart I have. This is what I use in my live streams. And you can see price has been respecting this orange fib circle as well as these fib channel lines. Notice we found resistance on this green line. Let me just draw a line here, guys, so I'm talking about. Notice how well they're respecting this, and this goes back a good ways. This was resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support. This became support, and look, we came down and we found perfect support. But we're also respecting this orange fib circle, and it just so happens this last ring right here, take note where where we make contact on this ring. Also on September 11th. So I have the Dow Jones chart with this version here, the 621.20. We make contact with this ring on September 11th. This ring right here, a major ring, which is also part of the same fib circle, we bottomed right here. When we make contact that on September 11th, and then we make contact with this ring right here that could potentially cause Bitcoin to pump or dump. We make contact with this potentially around 9/11 as well. So there are a lot of charts in Confluence. I also have another one at the Coinbase B weekly chart. That was in the last video I put up, so check that video out as well. I did want to point that out. Let's go ahead and cover some targets for Link. So your upside target for a Link, this is your current resistance. You can tell this has been support and resistance. So if Link pushes up, watch to potentially get rejected around $16. Your next strong support level is going to be down here, potentially $14.30. If you drop lower, your next support level, you can see we almost touched it, but this was your next support level right here. This would be $13.30. This will be very strong support. The reason I know that is because this has been, let me change color of this if I can here. So notice this was resistance. See right here, this orange line. this right here was a lot of resistance. We pushed back down, it became resistance. As soon as we broke it, we had a pump, and then we're respecting this white line. So if we do drop, a likely target to catch a nice bounce would be around $12.63. If you are bullish and you're looking for upside targets, I would like to point something out. Let me get rid of the MACD and RSI. Again, that is this chart. This is on Binance. This is the 1 hour. If I go to the 1 day, I want to point out some rings. If you are super bullish on Link and you're looking for some macro targets, all right, I would like to point out price has been respecting not only the there's a yellow ring here, you see right here, and there's a white flip circle. We've been respecting both. Let me make this a little brighter. I didn't set any of this up before. Let's see here. See this ring right here, and this ring right. Let's see here. And let's just go ahead and highlight this one too. All right. So notice price came up, we got rejected, we pushed up. Notice we hit this ring to the tick right here. This was right at $14.70. We came back down, we pushed above it. Now we're finding support on this ring. So if you're bullish on Link, it looks like your next target, again, rings help you with pivot point, support, and resistance, but also they kind of give you an idea for macro targets. And you can see how well price has been respecting this. Let me turn off this ribbon right here. So you can see we rode right down this ring. We came up as resistance. We're working within these channels right here. You can see we just rode right up as support and resistance, right up in the channel between these rings. Again, we pushed up, we came up, resistance. So if you're bullish on Link, a likely target, if you expect this to go much higher or a lot higher, this ring will be respected here. This is $26. But if you're looking for a point to potentially ride Link up and sell, I would probably get out of this ring. This is not financial advice, but you know, if we push straight up, and you're looking to target about $29, out here is about $27.53. So I just want to point that out, why or how these rings are beneficial for finding more macro targets. While you do see that we're respecting these individual fib channel lines, rings give you points to find out, okay, where could this top out? And you will have rings above. You know, if you look right here, this is your next ring above, and this is potentially up here around $59. But while we don't know that Link would go that high, I'm just saying these are points to see where you can potentially get rejected. Just like, you know, this ring was support and resistance, this ring was support and resistance, this was a perfect rejection. So if you push up, this would be a point to get possibly rejected, come back down, retrace a bit, come back up, we push above, and then hey, your next ring is right here. So I just want to point that out. But again, your targets, just smaller targets. And let me give you one more target above. So these are your targets for Link, guys. $14.34 is your first support. Below that, $13.30. Below that, $12.63. If you push up, your current resistance right here, $16.03, and or $16, and above that is around $17.56. Tezos, let's see. So this is on the 30-minute. Let's see. Your current support. You can see this has been a lot of support right here. So your first support level to pay attention to for Tezos, go to my price label, is going to be right here around $3.45. Your next support level below that is potentially around $3.19. If we push up, take note, this white line right here is actually a ring. Notice we got rejected at it with support and resistance. We found support twice, 1, 2 times, 3 times. Then it was resistance. So if you push up, a likely resistance level is going to be right here at $3.90. You also have, again, you're respecting the rings and the fib channels. You can see right here, this, and this goes back a good ways. I can zoom out a lot. Actually, this goes way back here. So this line right here, let me make this white, but you can see this line has proved to be, and I'll get rid of this MACD and RSI. You can see that, and I'll get rid of this ribbon too, guys. There's so much on this chart. But notice right here, you got resistance, 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 support, support, more resistance. Right here, you hit it as resistance, came down to support, more support. and then you got support, resistance. So if you did push up above this point, a likely point to get rejected, because price is respecting this fib channel line so well, if you push above this ring, your target would be up here around $4.10. But if I zoom out and give you the bigger picture, just like that last chart, notice how we're respecting this yellow fib circle and this white fib circle. So if I move this, you can see this is the same fib circle right here, and this yellow fib circle as well. And again, if you watch the tutorials, you'll understand how I set these up. But same thing, guys. Notice how well we're respecting this yellow fib circle. You found support on it, support, resistance. You broke through, you fell to this channel, support, resistance, respecting this one, support, resistance. Went up to this ring, support. I'm sorry, resistance, support, came up to this one, perfect rejection, rejection, right here on this ring. Resistance, 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 became support. We pushed up to this ring of support and resistance. Currently we're underneath it. So if you expect this to go higher and you're looking for a macro target, well, how high could Tezos possibly go? Well, if it pushes up, you know, you're respecting all of these yellow rings. If you get above this yellow ring right here, your next ring is up here. So a potential macro, you know, target to the upside, if this continues up, would be $6.20. If we come down, if we drop, and you're looking for a more you know, macro drop target, you can see we have been respecting this white ring. So potentially if we drop, your target would be right here, because this has been support and resistance. So you're looking at potentially around $2.85. So those are some price targets for Tezos. Let's go to ADA. ADA, we have some pivot rings here, guys, to pay attention to. And this would be, if you haven't seen how these rings work, when you see how well price is respecting a fib circle, and if I zoom out and kind of show you the bigger picture, you can see that when price, when price pushed up, you see we got resistance here. We pushed up to the next ring, we got resistance. We pushed up, we found support on this ring. This ring was support and resistance. Let me zoom in a bit on these center rings here. Notice how well we're respecting all of these rings. I had the center rings turned off, but we found support. This was a pivot. We found support, also respecting these fib channel lines. We pushed up, got rejected at this ring, came back down to support. We got top. We pushed away. We actually hit this fib channel line right here. You can see price respecting this fib channel right here. Support and resistance, support, resistance. But notice after we came down, we got rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And then finally, when we broke this ring, we pushed up, also respecting these fib channel lines, guys. These are great for targets if you're already moving up or coming down. So you're respecting the fib channel lines and the rings. Notice this ring right here. As soon as we crossed this ring, we were finding support right here on this fib channel line. As soon as we, you know, support, as soon as we broke above this ring, it was resistance. As soon as we pushed above it, we got a pump. And where do we pump to? Right to this next fib channel line. That's also, as you can see right here, it was support, then it became resistance, resistance again. So we got rejected. This is also a fib channel line we're respecting here. So we don't know if it's this one or this one, but this is multiple points of resistance, which if I was writing this up and I saw that we were coming up on this point, this is where I would sell. Notice when we broke this line here, this fib channel line that we were finding support, as soon as we broke it, we had a drop to this next fib channel line. So again, this helps you with support and resistance levels. So we found support, we broke through, support, resistance, support. You found support here, support, resistance. You went up to this fib channel line here. So that's why I know if we push up, a strong resistance level is going to be potentially right here. And you have this line that you can see every time we hit it, it ends up being support, resistance. So potentially if you push up, another resistance level to watch. Well, this is right above it. So potentially you're looking at, and again, these are angles, depends on when you hit it. So let's just say around a point, let's see, I guess about 13 cents. Your next, this resistance is $12 and, I'm sorry guys, this is potentially 13 cents. I can't. These numbers get so small here. Your next resistance above is 0.27. You can tell that by this line in this fib channel here. Your current, which looks like we're pushing above it, your current support right now is this line. Let me just extend this out. So your current support right now could turn resistance soon is 0.124. Your next support below that is 122. Your next support level below that, excuse me, your next support level below that is 0.120. And then you can see right here, this was your next support level right here. Let's go back and let's see how strong a support this was. And actually, if you pull this out, you can see this has been strong support. We got resistance, support, 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 support. So you know that a very likely support level to catch a bounce would potentially be right here at 0.118. But I would like to point out, just like here, just like when we crossed this white ring, we had a pump and then a drop. Notice this ring, we crossed, as soon as we pushed above this ring, we pumped and then came down. As soon as we crossed this ring, we pumped and came down. So it is very possible the same thing could play out. You know, depending on whichever channel we're on, you know, if we find support here, it's possible we could come down, do something like this. As soon as we cross this, we could push up and then potentially start coming back down, respecting these channels. So again, it's always a good idea to pay attention to these pivot rings. Again, this is all the same fib circle here, and this is why I say if you see previous rings where when price interacts with the ring and something happens, and the next ring something happens, pay attention when you get to this ring. But this would be around August 26th when we hit this ring at current price action. XRP, this chart, I'm just going to give you some targets, just current support and resistance levels. You can see that we topped out, and we did go a little above, but this seems to be very strong resistance right here. So this is also strong support right here. Notice that we're also respecting this channel right here as well, which could be support right now. So if we push up, your first resistance level for XRP is going to be around, it's like 30.4 cents. Your support currently is right here around 28.2 cents. And then you have a lot of support down here at 26.7 or 70 cents. So those are your macro targets. If you're looking, well, these are your smaller targets. You're looking for a macro target, guys. I would look at this point right here. Again, if you go back and you see how many times price was respecting a fib channel, you can see that right here we pushed up, we got rejected right at this point, and we came back down. We didn't quite make it up, we got resistance here. So you could say this is a strong support level. This would be your first strong support level. Your next major support level, you can see this is the point. Let me come back from this point. This is the point we pumped after right here. So we found resistance, we pushed up, got rejected. Right after this point we started pushing up. So I would look at this, you know, we could bring this way back just to see how far this goes. Yeah, look at this, we got perfect resistance, resistance, we got resistance, we pushed above it, more resistance, resistance here, resistance here. So again, for a macro target, if we drop, you know, look for potentially hitting, you know, this would be a good point to potentially catch a bounce right here, 22 cents, and right here around 19 cents, or this is almost 19 cents. And again, these are angles, depends on when you hit it. If we push up, I don't know that I have any rings on this chart. This chart is strictly fib channels. I have other charts that have some fib circles, but all of these fib channel lines will be your resistance levels on the way up. Again, like I said, if you push up, you might get rejected here, you come back down, you push up higher. That's why fib circles come in handy for helping you find those targets. Well, how high could this push up? That's why potentially, like on this chart, we know that we got topped out this yellow ring. So your next target up here is $6.20. I need to add some fib circles to XRP so we can get those macro targets. Ethereum, let's see, I do have rings on this chart to give you potential targets. Notice that we got, let me get rid of this MACD and RSI. Notice that we pushed up. Let me go to the bigger time frame here. So if you look at this chart, I know there's a lot on this chart, guys, but try to keep up here. So if you look at this blue ring, let me turn some of these center rings on and show you what price is respecting this. So, all right. So let's make this one bright so you can see it. This one as well, and this one. Just to show you how price is respecting these. Notice that this ring right here, this blue ring, I know it's kind of hard to see, but we found support, resistance, notice right here, we found resistance. As soon as we pushed above it, we pushed up above this ring, we topped out, we kind of found support here, we came back down, resistance at this ring became resistance, this ring became support, resistance. Notice we hit this blue ring, it was resistance right here, support, resistance. As soon as we pushed up, what do we push up? The next blue ring. And we're also respecting the white fib circle as well. Notice we got resistance and support. As soon as we broke this white ring, we pushed up. We got rejected this white ring. As soon as we broke it, we pushed up higher. See, we're interacting with this the fib channels as well as rings. We've got resistance at this blue ring. Look where we topped out, right at this next blue ring. So that's what I'm saying. When you have fib circles, it gives you a potential point. Well, if you push up past this blue ring, where's your next target? Potentially the next blue ring above. Notice we're finding resistance right now currently at this orange ring. This is this orange fib circle, and you can see prices respecting this as well. I can turn on some of these if you like, but I think you can kind of see how well we're respecting these. Right here you got a pivot to come down. We rode up this ring at sideways, found perfect support, found perfect resistance on this ring. Let me turn this on, make this a little brighter so you can see them. So this is what I'm saying. When you see how well price is respecting a fib circle, you see resistance, pivot, resistance, resistance. Look at that. As soon as we hit that ring, actually, and the crazy thing is we hit two rings at the same time. As soon as we broke this white ring and this blue ring, it came right down to this support level. It's kind of hard to see, but this is the resistance level we're respecting right here. We came down to support, we pushed up. As soon as we broke it, we pushed up to these rings. So what I'm getting at is, if you're very bullish on Ethereum, your next target above, your next, and again, you're respecting the fib channels, but ultimate targets. So if you want to if we top out again, your next target above is $4.47. We're respecting the white fib circle as well, so that would be right here at $4.64. Your current resistance is this orange ring right here at $408. Your support below is right here at $382. Your next support level will be not only this fib channel line here, but this white ring. So if we have a drop, if we're further out to the right, a potential support level is $3.43. Notice we got topped out this blue ring. So while respect, again, these are just bounce. If we come down, we get a bounce here, push back up, come back down. But these are your major support levels using rings and fib channels. So if your resistance is $408, your support $382, next support $343, next support $327, next support $308. If we push up, your next resistance is $447, your next resistance above that is $464. And if we push up much higher, if you're super bullish on Ethereum, if we get a pump in Bitcoin, your next major resistance is 536, and then the blue ring above is up here 652. So that's how you get, if we start pumping, you're like, well, how high can this go? Well, again, you go from ring to ring to ring. So if we get a major pump, if we get above $447, your next major resistance is 536. You get above that and it keeps pushing up. right here, $652. And notice that's close to this blue ring. So you have multiple rings that come into confluence here. So around $657, the point you might top out. BCH, same thing. So you can see I have a fib circle in this chart. I will update the other charts that don't have fib circles. Notice that right here, we found resistance. We did push way above it. We came back down below, but we got resistance right here. We got resistance. We topped out right up here. So if you're looking for a macro target for Bitcoin Cash, you know, and this is kind of this kind of level right here. So if we push up, the highest I see us going will be $327. If we did push higher, your next ring above is this ring right here. I have it a different color for some reason, not sure why. So again, if we push above this ring, a macro target to the upside for Bitcoin Cash would be $446. Your next ring above would be up here at $563. But again, those are macro targets. You also are respecting this yellow fib circle as well. You can see how well price has been respecting this. Resistance, support, support, resistance, so on and so forth. So again, you have multiple rings. I know there's a lot on the chart. This is meant to be kind of zoomed in. Again, those would be your more macro targets to the upside. Again, you do have a macro target to the downside. So since we've been respecting this fib circle back here, this would potentially be a low target. And if we had a substantial drop, $254. But notice we are respecting these fib channel lines. You can see this line right here has proved to be a lot of support and resistance. This is the actual chart name, by the way. This is the Bitstamp 62120 BCH chart. But you can see this line, this yellow line right here, has been a lot of support and resistance. And right here, you can see it was support repeatedly. It was support. It is now our resistance. So again, that's why I say go back and look at these lines and see how price is respecting them. You can see this right here. This line has been resistance as well. So this is what I'm talking about. Not only do you have resistance here, you also have resistance on this fib channel line in this direction. So this is a lot of resistance. So if you pushed up, your current resistance, which could turn support, is right here at $293. You will have resistance above you right here around $296. If you push higher, your next resistance is $306. Again, always, and you know, load the chart up, look left, and you can see this right here is your next resistance level above. So if you push above that, your next resistance will be up here around $314. Keep in mind, this is an angle. The further out you go, the higher these get. But you can see price does respect these. If we drop, your current support level below is right here. You can see how price has been interacting with this line here. And I don't know if price dropped that low, but if it did, actually, you can see that it did. Let me get rid of these lines here. So if we pull this back, follow this red line, you can see this here. This was support, support. So if we drop, you can see right here, it became support and resistance. So this right here is your next support. So your next support level right here, we got a perfect bounce here. So your support currently is down here at $287. Your next support level below will be right here. Again, these are for smaller targets. And then take note, this right here has been a lot of support and resistance. So you're working with multiple fib channels going in different directions. If you want to learn how to create these charts, again guys, you can watch my tutorials. Maybe the charts will make more sense, but you can see how well price is respecting all of these channels. And again, if you look right here, you can see this line right here has been a lot of support and resistance. You got support, support. So if you drop below that, and if price keeps coming down, this is your next major support level right here. So those are just some support levels and resistance levels for Bitcoin Cash. VET. So this chart here, notice that we're respecting this yellow fib circle. Support. We got support here, broke through. Support on this yellow ring. Support on this yellow ring. As soon as you broke this yellow ring, came down to support, resistance, totally respecting this fib circle. We broke it, we came down as support again. As soon as we broke it, we pushed down, we pushed back up. Notice we came down, we found perfect support again, riding up this ring. And then when we dropped, where did we drop to? Right to this fib channel line, which became support and resistance. So you can see if we push up, this was resistance. We didn't quite make it to it, but your next resistance level above for VET is going to be right up here around 0.020, your support level. Again, just look left at how price interacted with previous fib channel lines. Your support would be right here at 0.016. And then pay attention, because if we do drop below that, as you can see, every time we drop from yellow ring to yellow ring. So potentially, while you do have a fib channel line here, next possible support will also be this ring right here. So that's why I'm saying always pay attention, not only the fib channel lines, but the rings as well. The rings do help with macro targets. So if we did push up above this point, your next resistance right here would potentially be up here around 0.0252. Comp, let's see. So right here, you can see we had a lot of support. Let's see how far back this goes. So right here, you got perfect resistance. You got support, more support. Right here, you got support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Resistance, more support. So a very strong resistance level above us for comp is right here at $188. Your support level below, you can see right here, support. This would be your support right here. If I can get this damn thing working. This is your next support level, $180. Your next support level below that would be 173. Take note that we are respecting this this orange fib circle. Notice we topped out right at this ring. So it looks like when we crossed this ring, we dropped. We found support here. When we crossed this this orange ring, we started coming down. We crossed this orange ring, we started coming down. Almost found support on this ring, respecting these fib channel lines. This is your next support below. Actually, these would be your support levels here. But it is possible once we cross this ring, just like we crossed this ring, we dropped. It's possible we cross this ring, we could drop again. If we continue sideways, make contact with this ring on the 25th of August. But this is your next support level below, and your support level below that. So again, if we push up 188, if you drop, your first support level is 180, your next support level is 174, and then 170 and 165. If we push up, the next major resistance I have above, and again, always go back. You can see this has been respected repeatedly. Support, resistance, support, support, a lot of support and resistance. So if we push up, your next major resistance above will be up here around $204. So that covers all the altcoin charts for today. I have other altcoins. The next video, I'll switch up the altcoins and add some different ones to the mix. But again, I do want to just make sure that you guys are aware that we will be coming up on this ring. If we continue up this ring as support, again, this is the Bitcoin capitulation chart 12-10-19. If we continue to ride up this ring like this, then we will make contact with this ring around September 4th. If we cross this and push up, that could be bullish, but pay attention, because this has proved to be strong resistance around right here would be 12,681. It's possible we could cross that ring and get a pump, but going on previous price action, you know, if we stay underneath this ring, we would break this support and we could potentially ride down this ring to this point. Then we could possibly cross it, push back up, retest, you know, 13,491. This could play out a number of ways. All I'm trying to do is help you find these support and resistance levels and these potential points where price will make a move. So this could be a point you potentially short, or if you cross it and you're above this ring, this could be a potential point too long. So, but just pay attention to that date again, and that does go along with the Dow. But guys, that's it for today. I know this has run pretty long. I didn't plan it out too well. Again, follow me on Twitter. The link is Optical Art Chart. The link is in the description. And if you want to access these charts, guys, the link's also in the description. It's opticalartcrypto.com. And again, altcoin, Bitcoin, precious metals is $19 a month. And if you want to access stocks and tutorials, that is separate. But guys, that's it. Until the next video, trade safe, trade smart. And until the next one.